Yeah. That's right, everybody. Welcome to this week's edition of the Six Gaming Podcast. I am your host, as always, Showsan. With me, of course, is not Showsan. Why don't you say hi?
I'm also not the dancer.
Shame. It's a shame. Up next, the largest man we've ever had on a podcast.
I need to pee.
We should have taken care of this beforehand, maybe?
I want a cookie.
No.
Oh my God.
I'll pull this van over.
Someone make him
I'm
shut
a
up.
impressionable child. I need to go somewhere.
Quick, deliver food to his house now.
Right,
That's not what I was
someone,
doing.
please.
All of it. All the food.
Finally, we got our very own gold farmer.
Hey, what's up? It's Ben.
He's
Sipping
not a
on
gold farmer.
something.
I got a
Right,
little,
bronze.
He doesn't give the gold out to us.
Yeah,
some
so-
LaFroy.
Not ours.
That looks nice. Sadly, show's a little dehydrated, so we're drinking water.
That doesn't
Water
look like
that's
water.
been given, what do you call this?
Oh.
This weird little juice stuff. So,
Golden
yeah,
bear.
slightly discolored. We won't go into that.
It's a random person's piss.
Oh,
What?
Show's drinking urine.
Yeah.
yep. That's how we do this podcast, damn it. If it's not beer, it's urine. So, we're going
Some
to start
people would
things
say
off
some
with-
beer is urine.
Well, that's what
some
Bud
beer
Light is.
Trust me, yeah.
Necessary? Is it necessary that I drink urine? No.
Of course not.
Carol, I like the taste.
Good
This
times.
podcast just took a very disturbing direction.
Oh, it's the best direction ever. So, let's kick things off.
Good news, everyone!
That's right, good news! All right, let's talk some news, you guys. PAX East Boston. Woohoo, March
Right.
6th through the 8th. So what's up with PAX?
You don't know about PAX?
I do know
So-
about PAX.
PAX is the Penny Arcade Expo, which is a big, I think what the original one was out in Cali, right? In like
Yeah.
San Francisco. Then they created a PAX East for the people who didn't want to trek across the whole country to go to PAX. And it's a pretty cool. I haven't been, but I've seen a lot of stuff out of it. And it's really cool. It's got a lot of celebrity, like geek life throughout celebrities that come.
Yeah.
It's like a Comic-Con type thing, but it's a lot of video game stuff, and it's obviously hosted by the Penny Arcade guys.
Right. And it's definitely evolved very much into, like you said, geek life. It's kind of a Comic-Con mixed with, Name Your Gaming Expo. And they kind of puts it all together. Minus E3, of course. That's too big. But that's packed. So, hey, if you guys live in Boston, March 6th through the 8th, I would recommend trying to pick up tickets, as they tend to sell out pretty quick, if they haven't already.
I was about to say, if you mean quick, you mean instantly.
I'm pretty sure they're gone already.
Yeah. I think they might be,
I'm pretty
but
sure
I'm not
they're
100%.
gone. Yeah, sold out.
So if you guys haven't gotten your tickets, shame
Tough
on you.
shit.
You're out
Shame
of luck.
on you.
Or do
Right.
what my one friend did one year and sneak in during a Comic-Con and use a two-person costume and get in that way.
Yeah, you could do that. That
Wow.
would work.
As soon as they
whatever
found out, they both got kicked out and banned for life at Comic-Con.
Don't do that, folks. Don't
Even
do not
better.
do that.
But the best part was like the last 10. It was like the last hour of Comic-Con. It was hilarious.
Even better, right? All right, so let's talk Xbox One. We've all got it.
How about
hopefully.
not?
I don't.
Yeah, let's talk.
Yeah, let's
Xbox
talk about it.
One. All right, Ron, what do you got?
Well, I got food.
Oh, food.
Yeah,
Go figure. You and not Veg.
I know. Well, Veg might be interested in moving to Hong Kong because they now have Xbox One burgers available at a place called Triple O's.
Ooh.
What the hell
Xbox
are
One
Xbox?
burgers. I'd eat it. I'll eat
Right?
it.
I mean, it looks pretty good, but the bun is, in the shape of the X. I mean, it doesn't look anything special. It just looks like a burger with lettuce, tomato, and stuff like that. But what's interesting about this is that if you look at the article, the entire restaurant is decked out in an Xbox One theme. And I mean, they've gone really overboard with this.
Awesome.
I'm kind of amazed that something like this hasn't come to the U.S. yet.
There's no product placement.
But Japan
there or
is
anything.
Japan. I mean,
This is Hong Kong, not Japan.
Well, this is
Oh,
Hong Kong,
sorry,
not
I was
even
listening.
Japan.
Yeah.
Good job with your racial stereotyping there, Penn.
I wasn't listening, and all I heard was that it was in Asia.
You were close.
Oh, Tom Randa, I don't think we go similar people.
Wow. I mean, the
Uh,
tabletops
Who was
are
just
all
saying something about not being
Xbox.
racist?
I was being racist on purpose.
Oh, that's way better.
That makes it so much better.
Right?
I
mean,
have practice of doing it.
I mean, if you check out some of these pictures, I mean, like the walls have like trailer pictures or whatnot of various
Wow.
games on it.
So
Good
basically,
Lord.
it's like every 14-year-old gamer's bedroom. Then.
Yeah, pretty much. That's pretty
That's
much it.
exactly what it looks like.
And what my wife won't let me do in mine.
What you do in your bedroom with your wife is your own business.
Well, thank you.
Excuse me. All right, so let's talk some more about Xbox One. How about 1-year subscriptions for $40? That's awesome.
Hey, I
So,
picked
Is
that
that
up.
permanent or is that temporary?
I don't know, but I picked that up as soon as I saw it.
Yep. Right now it looks temporary. They haven't said anything official yet. This article is up on CNET if you go ahead and check that out.
Yes.
But yeah, it's very interesting. It's honestly pretty cool. Sadly, I've already got like a reoccurring, so doesn't bother me any. But hey, whatever.
Well, the thing that bugs me the most is if it's temporary, that means that Xbox Lives is what, $60 a year?
Yes.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, PlayStation 4's is $50 year round,
Yeah.
which is
So
know,
it's $10.
yeah, $10 is that's a meal right there that I could be having.
Well,
One
we
meal for 365 days.
Shut up, Ron. No one's
Right.
asking you.
You would very quickly become the smallest man on the podcast if that were to happen.
very quickly.
Yeah, about that.
So
But no, I mean, they should keep it down that low. You know, both of them should start getting competitive and see $30 a year. That'd be awesome.
I
God,
You know,
love
but-
competition.
But yeah, Xbox and Sony have been fighting nonstop, back and forth with these price wars. It wouldn't surprise me to see this as a permanent change, just to stay competitive.
Yeah.
I mean, they
And
both
then
have a
Wii U
large
is slowly sliding by both of them and laughing hysterically.
Yeah, I mean, hey,
Only because it's Zelda and Smash Brothers. Like, come on.
well, yeah,
And Mario Kart.
Mario Kart, yeah, Mario. Anything Mario,
Mario
Zelda, or
Kart's been
Smash
dying
Brothers.
off.
There you go.
I mean, even in the Twitch world, Mario Kart's been dying. So I don't know, not worth it to me. That's all I'm saying. So anyway, let's move on to Sony. How about that? So.
Yay.
I just want to go ahead and be the first to wish the Sony Vita happy birthday. Yay.
What's a Vita?
What? What's
you
a Vita?
really don't know what a Vita is?
I know what a Vita is.
Troll.
I'm saying that it's so like I
obscure.
don't see people with them.
I love my Vita. I
Well,
lived
what do
off
you see
that thing
people
for
with
6
instead?
months.
Huh?
What do you see people with instead?
DS.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
But we talked about DS last week, but
Yeah. This week, Sony Vita turns 3 years old. With that,
Damn,
Sony-
3 years old?
3 years old, yeah. So Sony has turned around and they released a whole bunch of games at very discounted price. If you have PlayStation Plus, it's even cheaper. But we're talking.
How is free? How can you get cheaper than free?
Well, it's not quite free, but it's pretty damn cheap. You've got everything from Angry Birds, Star Wars, Call of Duty Black Ops, Declassified. I mean, you name it. Hatsune Miku, Project Diva F is at a discount price. If you're into the whole music creation thing.
You know,
I mean, you
I'm
name
looking
it, you
down the
got
list
this.
of games here, and I'm not seeing any heavy hitters.
Well, I mean, if you're into what do you call it, the whole handheld thing, there are some pretty decent games in there. Tales of Hearts are big
I didn't see
handheld
that. Yeah.
RPG, which is a
There
lot
you
of
go.
fun.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yep. Ninja Gaiden, another good one. If
If
you
you've
know,
never heard of
play
Ninja
this-
Gaiden, then you're going to be killed.
One of the fun ones is PlayStation All Stars Battle Royale, which is pretty much PlayStation's answer to Smash Brothers. It's a lot of fun. Plays the same.
And failed miserably comparison.
Well, compared, but let's see, Jet Set Radio, the Jack and Daxter collection. I mean, Oddworld. The list goes on. It's a really large list, so definitely if you have a Vita,
Larger than me.
go check it out. It really probably is larger than Veg. So
yeah, no. That's not.
not. All right. So yeah, go check it out, you guys. Yeah, that's going on. Up next, Sony Japan loses the names of the winners for the 20th anniversary contest, and it restarts the whole damn thing.
Sony just has a track record of being absolutely terrible with anything
With data.
related to computers.
Oh my, yeah.
Right.
Related to data.
If they have to keep a hold of this, it's gone.
Yeah, there were 123 winners to this contest, but before they were able to distribute the prizes, they lost the list and just deleted it. So now they're in fact they lost all the entries and everything. So they're having to restart the entire.
That
thing.
sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
How
know,
insane is that?
one person be like, "I was a winner," and Sony's like, "Nope."
Sorry.
Yep.
You gotta try again.
I don't know if
I
they
just-
ever released the. I mean, obviously, I don't think they ever released the names of who won. So-
Yeah, I didn't hear anything official.
So technically, I could have been a potential winner and never realized it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yep. Good.
Well done, Sony. GG.
Yep. GG. All right, Ron. This is your foray. What's next on our news docket?
You just don't like Diablo.
I don't.
Well, let me give
I
you a
tried.
reason.
I started playing again. Okay, so I started playing again today.
All right.
I started a monk. But the problem is,
Difficult
like,
to start.
I got to level 7, I think
Uh-huh.
it was, and I lost interest. Like, yeah.
What were you doing?
I-
Were you playing the story? Were you trying adventure
yeah, the
mode?
story.
Try adventure mode. Give that a shot.
All right.
Start
Yeah,
doing
maybe.
bounties and doing different things and see
I
how it
need
works for
to.
you.
If I can level up quick, I'm sure that monks will be a lot more
Ron,
fun.
take him to
They're a
Tournament
lot of
6.
fun.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll go
So-
into Tournament 6.
So Diablo 3 has announced that, and this is only in, I believe,
Asia.
Asia right now. They're going to start dabbling into some kinds of microtransactions again.
Uh-oh.
They're talking about introducing a new currency called Platinum. You can purchase that with real-world cash.
Uh-oh.
And it's to purchase things such as timed experience boosts, more cosmetic wings, more pets, more character portraits, possibly extra storage space, and extra character slots as well. So
That sounds okay to me.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
it's not pay to win by any stretch.
Yeah.
But maybe the experience boost might be considered because that translates directly to stats.
Yeah,
But,
but I mean, you can buy a 90 boost on Warcraft. No one has a problem with that.
Well, that's World of Warcraft.
yeah.
This is Diablo 3, entirely different thing. So, yeah. So, what do you guys think?
I don't know.
I'm
Wait,
I'm
what
kinda
kind of like?
It
On the
it
fence.
sounds like it can still be very exploitable, in my opinion. At least if they do that level boost, like he was saying, because that will feed directly into your Paragon levels.
yeah,
Those
absolutely.
Paragon levels translate directly into your stats. And
Yeah, which is why I
everything
don't
else.
like that. If they take out the experience boost, I'd probably be fine with it.
Right. I would be fine with it if it stays purely cosmetic. But yeah,
It's just
outside
time
of that,
saved, right? It's not like, I mean, because before you could buy specific items that had dropped for other people that the RNG gods would probably
would
never give you. That's not.
yeah.
I mean, it's not really just time, but this is just time, right? I mean, the experience boost is just it takes less time to level experience.
Yeah, which
yeah.
that's given the people with the money is the unfair advantage.
I mean, I don't know if they were to do it in America. Yeah, I would probably look into it and consider it. But oh, we got a couple on screen. Look at that. Aw.
Aww.
Slap him upside the head for me.
Hard.
Slap me upside the head.
No.
That
No,
was
come
like-
on. That was fake.
We're very
Smack
upset
her.
with that.
Oh, no.
Smack him.
Oh,
She's not mad at him. That's the
Damn.
problem.
yeah.
No, I did
We'll do
good.
something about that.
Please don't.
Um, But yeah, so like if it were to come to America, I would definitely consider it. But I don't think it should, only because of the heavy exploitation that people could do. I mean, isn't seasons, the whole point of the seasons thing, ranking you against your peers as far as leveling and overall achievements? And by
peers are
having
horrible
these
individuals.
boosts that could give you that extra leverage into it.
And Paragon levels, that's not anything to laugh at. I mean, I found out in Season 1 that having the extra Paragon levels, it's a big deal.
Yeah. I mean, it'll definitely mean you're top of the boards or not. So, yeah.
I'm a mountain, so I'm on top of that.
You're on top of everything.
Oh, there you go.
Actually, he's under
anyway.
everything because gravity all goes.
But that's that. So, hey, since we're on topic, at least as far as Blizzard goes, let's talk about WoW's 6.1 patch. Again.
I call this the social media patch.
Right.
The selfie stick patch.
And you weren't here. But there was an interesting article that was put up on Reddit. Now, Ron actually went through. I reviewed it, but I didn't have time to go
I
through
posted
it.
that actually.
Oh, did you? Okay. So, talk
Well,
to me.
he's right. I did review
What
it.
is this whole thing going on?
Ron loves it.
Reddit?
So someone posted kind of a rant, and I agree with it as much as I know about it. I started at the end of Kata, so
Okay.
when I started, Stormwind was the main city because everyone was hanging out by the portals.
Right.
And in Pandaria, everyone was at Shrine, and now everyone's hanging out in their garrison. So I never saw Dalaran, I never saw Shattrath.
Mm.
So apparently there were a bunch of things that were promised during Warlords, including a new capital city, which didn't really come. I mean,
Yep.
That fell through hard.
Storm Shield doesn't really count.
I was going to say there's kind of Storm Shield, but...
Yeah, I mean, maybe they'll make it better in another patch, but...
Yeah.
So, Siege of Orgrimmar went for 14 months, which is crazy to think about. I mean, we're on one raid for 14 months. So they said they learned their mistakes, and so...
Let me stop you right there, because I don't know if you guys saw it. There was a Q&A that Blizzard did with Lore and Ian Hazakostas. I think this was yesterday. But they were talking specifically about rating and whatnot. And one thing that Ian kept bringing up is, we've learned our lessons, and we're going to be pushing out more content as time goes by, because honestly, having... what do you call it? The last trade that we had in the last expansion.
Hold on. My cat found a cockroach.
Who?
The last what?
My cat found
The
a
last
cockroach.
raid we had?
1 second.
We'll let it kill it. So in Siege of Orgrimmar?
Yeah, thank you. Why did I blank that out? I have no idea. But yeah, Siege of Orgrimmar. He was saying that it was unacceptable to have Siege of Orgrimmar for, so many months before we pushed out the new patch. And so one thing that we, Blizzard, are working on is giving you guys more content and slowly releasing this stuff out so you guys always have something to do until the next expansion. Mm-hmm. So he's he kind of went on that for about 5-10 minutes. He was talking about this whole thing. And it's funny because that's exactly what they did in previous expansions, like you were saying.
So I think to be fair, what they're saying is that they don't want to go so long without new raids, and they're saying, well, BlackRock launched not long ago, so they're saying the last raid they'll keep putting in new raids until they get to the new expansion. So that's somewhat different, but they're saying they promised all this stuff for Warlords. We got no races, no classes, no battlegrounds, no capital cities, no profession. The existing professions were basically gutted. I mean,
I hated the professions at launch.
Yeah.
I kind of still do, but they've improved it a little.
Yeah, there's been some changes for a single person. Like, you can make yourself some cool stuff, but it's because of the way that Savage Bloods are. It's not worth making anything for other people. Tenon Jungle pushed back to 6.2. Black Rafani pushed back from launch.
It says here that Farallon actually got cut. Is that not going to be a thing at all this X-Pack?
I guess not.
He didn't say anything in the Q&A about it.
Wow.
I don't know about it.
That's
Ashran for PvPers is awful.
Oh, it's
There's
terrible. I
there's
tried
no-
doing that, and I couldn't tell what the hell was going on.
And
no
actually, I
daily
did it the other
hubs.
day
There's
too.
no
and I couldn't-
reputations.
I love the fact that it's got some kind of PvE, PvP-ish. There's like a mixture going on with the quests, but if you try to participate in the actual battleground, it's just a clusterfuck. Is all it is.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
it really is.
You're pushing
Basically,
back on one line. It's like a reverse tug of war. Wait,
So-
like,
So
that
and
if your computer can even handle it, more than 3 frames.
I didn't have a problem with performance.
Yeah.
Well, I
Here's-
know some people do with toasters, but
Yeah.
here's
Go ahead,
the launch content of each of the expansions. Okay.
And I think we also went over like not just the launch content last week, but the first patch content as well.
Oh yeah. Well, this is just the expansion in general. Like
The
this is
previous,
6.1,
yeah.
but 6.1 isn't improving on this. So, Burning Crusade had 15 dungeons and 5 raids. Granted, some of those raids were
Grawl and Mag.
one boss. Yeah, Gruul
Yeah.
and Mag. So it's one boss.
But still, I mean, that was 2 full raid tiers.
It's Kazaran and Serpent Shrine and Tempest Keep.
Karazhan,
Whatever.
Hearthstone.
Yeah.
Hearthstone.
Wrath, 12 dungeons, 4 raids.
Yeah.
Kata, 9 dungeons, 4 raids.
I wouldn't call Vault of Arkham a raid either.
Okay, so 3 raids.
Same with Baradin Hold.
Ugh.
I mean, still,
Again, 3 raids.
Still, you're looking at a ton of content. For
Miss, 9 dungeons, and then Mogashan, Heart of Fear, and Terrace all came out within a month of launch.
Yep.
Warlords, 8 dungeons, 1 raid, another raid released 3 months after launch.
Wow.
That's it.
Yep.
No races, no classes, no battlegrounds.
No professions, like you were
Yeah.
saying.
So,
I mean, nothing really.
and we get the Garrison update.
Yeah.
So, it's.
I wouldn't even really call it an update. Like only maybe 4 things updated, and they weren't all that big.
Yeah,
Ooh, you can get music in your Garrison.
and I'll
Well-
go on about that later.
Yeah.
It's
And
it's
that's one
content
thing.
that is not worth a patch number. That should be 6.0.5 or something.
Right.
This all could be a .o patch. It's not something. I don't see what they changed to call this 6.1.
The only thing
Yeah.
that, not even for 6.1, was the Blood Off update. That was it. Like, that's the
Well-
only giant thing that...
And Ron and I were talking about this. Was it last week?
Last
We were
week.
talking that this whole patch had a lot of really nice quality of life improvements to the game, but that's it. I mean,
Yeah, Show said the colorblind update was amazing.
that was really good, you guys. I can actually see the game really well now, like really clear.
That's
I was
really cool.
confirmed,
I'm
though,
glad
that the,
Yeah,
the
you were
bars, the red bars are pink. I
last
found out.
week. You were like,
But-
it's gonna be stupid, but
Snozberries taste like snozberries.
It was impressive. Either way, Blizzard actually got something right for once, right out the get-go. Hey, good for you guys.
You know what? It's kind of funny because you say that like they never do, but the
Well,
whole thing about Blizzard used to be they don't release it until they get it right.
right. And now they release it to quiet people down. They push it out as fast as they can, and then they'll patch it on improvement. Shit, look at Diablo 3. They kind of did that with the very first launch of D3. It was
well,
terrible.
I think they
Let's be
thought it
real.
was good at the time.
They thought it was amazing. They thought it was, and to be fair, I liked the game, but I didn't like it as much as I do now.
They
Right.
just didn't know. They didn't know what the reaction was going to be. Just like it wasn't as broken as, like, say, the new SimCity.
Well,
Oh,
yeah.
that's true.
God, I
Granted,
remember my
there were
friend
a
just
lot of
sitting there at home, staring at her laptop, staring at these graphs, waiting for one of them to go red or something before she had to go in and make a phone call to someone. And keep in mind that she's a product manager. She had nothing to do with any of the technical stuff. Yet there she was watching those technical graphs, and everybody in the company was doing something similar to that 24 hours a day for like a month.
Wow. Wow. That's too much. Let's be real. But anyway, that's all I got for WoW. You guys got anything else? Ron, you
I
brought up
really
this.
really hope that they do something big with 6.2. That's all
They
I gotta
better.
say.
Yeah, I mean, they absolutely have to, really. I mean, that's how I see it. But All right.
I'll give my goblin tip.
Okay. Yeah, let's talk money.
So I'm back up to 430 something. I spent 50 grand on temporal crystals last week.
Wow.
And been making most of that back. Selling enchants. So my tip for the week is, I don't know if you noticed if you use ore for anything, but yesterday ore jumped up about 400%, and that's because the ore trader was in town.
Oh yeah.
Because you can get unlimited spirits, as long as you have the ore.
Yeah. So the ore and the leather and the herbs, you're going to want to buy them. You're going to want to watch and see, because they're going to rotate in a predictable way each day.
Yeah, that's something that we should talk about too.
Oh yes, so that's what they changed. So it used to be that it would just be random, whichever, because each day there can be a different denizen at your garrison, right? It can be Harrison Jones, it can be the trader, it can be the bounty guy.
I'm so tired of Harrison, by the way.
And,
Anyway.
But what it was that everybody had the same trader, right? So like if it was Ore Trader Day, everyone had the Ore Trader, which made sense because they didn't want people to be like to feel that they had to find 15 different people to get each of the different traders.
Right.
It's like putting the cap on Valor, right? They don't want people feeling like they have to do everything in one day. But it was random, and so the cloth trader or whatever was there twice in a row, and the ore trader never came. So now what they're doing is that it's like ore, herbs, leather, whatever. Like it's a predictable cycle.
Path. Yeah.
So that you're guaranteed to get them all within a certain amount of time.
Right. But because of that, it means that you're going to figure out what that cycle is, and people now. So there's two sides to this. One, you can use this to make gold. You can buy up the items when it's low and then sell them when they're higher. But at the same time, if you actually need it for yourself and you're not just trying to do it to make gold, make sure you buy the items when they're low. Don't go in there and be like, ore's 1 gold, 50 silvers. Like, that's way overpriced. You want to be under 1 gold for sure for any of the ore.
Yeah.
So
especially
keep track
if
of the
you're
price.
buying.
Yep.
Yeah.
Keep track of the price and make sure that you're not buying it when it's too expensive.
Definitely.
Yep.
Definitely. And I'm glad you brought that up because I have no use for ore, and as soon as I saw the ore trader, man, I went nuts. Just dropped my entire bank on those
I would have bought it off of you, but
I got hundreds of spirits yesterday. It was great.
Yeah, I didn't know you needed them.
We got
Shit, I
spirit.
would've sold
Yes,
them to
we
you.
can.
Show needs
Veg,
money.
no.
Okay? I've got
Wait, hold on.
11K, and that's on a really good day.
Dan's got the face palm.
sorry, I've never gotten to do that before.
Yeah,
That's good.
Jazz hands.
necessary. Hold on, I think it's my turn here. Veg, why?
Jazz hands. All right. I'm not
Joe.
doing it. I'm not doing it.
Oh.
All right. So that's our obligatory World of Warcraft. So since we're on obligatory, you guys, we're just segueing all the way through this podcast. Let's talk League of Legends.
And let's talk about Veg finally losing.
Veg finally losing this one.
After like a 15 winning game streak.
Oddly enough. We don't know how that
winning streak.
happened.
4. It was closer to
No,
4.
I'm comparing it to last year's too.
I don't care about last year. This is a new season. You have new players. Little Ron did the job. He beat him. They're both
There you
tied
go.
for first right now. They're 4-1.
And okay,
Pulse
so,
beat me. So my team's just completely trash.
so Ron, how about that TSM and Jinx play just the other
Yeah,
day?
so Wild Turtle joins Zhao Zhao as the only players in the NALCS to get a pentakill in a loss.
In a loss.
Yeah.
The entire team is surrounding their Nexus, and here comes Wild Turtle, damn near out of nowhere with the rockets, and just pentakill. It was amazing.
And then he got a quadra on the next defense when they aced him. And
I mean, the guy
Dyrus
was
stole
just-
it from him.
Oh, it was insane. Yeah, I do kind of agree that was kind of bullshit, but you know.
The only
We
way
just-
that Team Liquid won that game was with a backdoor. They baited TSM out of the base into doing Baron, and while they were doing Baron, I think it was Dominate went in and finished off the Nexus.
Yep, Dominate snuck in through the back entrance, the bottom lane.
CLG also lost last week. I did not get to see that game because I slept in too much.
Which one was that?
To Cloud9.
I caught parts of that one. It wasn't huge. Like, don't get me wrong, it was pretty standard.
And then, of course, the Elimination Notebook Twitter account. It had a very hilarious take of that.
2 veggies.
No, that's too many.
I'm not
What the
sure
hell's
what
going on?
happened.
So yeah, Elimination's Notebook posted to Twitter. He's like, I'm not sure what happened. I don't know if we're back to the old Cloud9 or if we're back to the old CLG.
Right?
But
Very true.
TSM, CLG, both back to their winning ways this week.
Yep.
Over in EU,
Very nice to
NIF is out of Elements, and Crepo is back, and he's supporting over
Did
there.
Nim get kicked, or he's just...
I didn't see what happened with that, but I saw Crepo. I'm like, oh god, it's Crepo, and I had picked him up immediately, replaced NIF. So I kept my Elements bot lane. And they beat Meet Your Makers, but of course Meet Your Makers is the last place team. SK Gaming beat them the very next day pretty quickly too.
Child.
So
Ron, did you catch the final game today?
I
Before
did.
they went off air?
I did.
So I forget the guy's name, and I should have caught it. He's brand new into the Challenger Series. Went in on the wrong set of runes.
yeah,
Zingy.
Dignitas, Zingy, yeah. He
Zingy.
went in on Vi and took AP runes instead of AD runes. Oh.
Yeah.
And
And that's
he
what they
tried
said.
to
They're
pause
like-
too.
And they paused the game because they're like, hey, maybe this was, the game messing up. And it was determined that he went into the game without changing his room page.
Yep.
Completely
And the thing
changing
is
the whole
that
game.
the theory behind that is that when he was playing on the tournament realm previously, he had been playing champs such as Fiddlesticks and Karthus, champs that would use those runes, but he went in on Vi, and
Never changed it. So,
Yeah,
they're like, that's a terrible showing for your first time out in the LCS. But, we're going to give you the benefit of the doubt. Come in on another game, show us what you can really do.
right.
I thought it was funny.
I've seen the Zingy play against Phantom Lord, Voyboy. He's really good, actually. But that was just it was sad.
Yeah, it was
like-
it was a scary game.
Yeah, it was. When I saw that, I was like, no. And everyone's like, why does he have 20 AP? It's like, you shouldn't have that.
Yeah, it was weird. It was definitely very weird. I thought that was an interesting, way to start your Challenger Series, for sure.
Your LCS career, yeah.
LCS, yeah.
But
This
anyway.
Challenger Series is awesome. It's just, yeah,
The nerves of the big stage.
that's just,
it's
yeah.
got to be nerves. I mean, come on. I would be too, especially playing in front of that audience.
Show.
Yeah.
I would be impressed if you could play.
Hey.
He
I've gotten
can't play
pretty
when he's
decent
not
on
in front of
Jinx.
the audience.
I've gotten decent on Jinx. I say decent. Decent for a noob. Decent for a noob. I'm getting
Decent
better.
for a noob, which means
Getting
217 and 5.
Man, that's too much credit. I was
You
going to
really-
say like
you really had to pull up
135
my
and
stats.
maybe 0.
No, that
You
would
really
be
have-
feeding.
Why are you going to pull up my stats in front of the whole world? That's kind of messed up. All
I
right.
want to laugh at you.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true. Who doesn't?
Anyway.
All right, so that does it for LCS at least. Should. Let's talk gaming in general, you guys. So I don't have anything really to bring up because I've been playing a lot of WoW. But in at least game news, Big Show, this guy, just started playing a healer again. I'm off spec healing.
Oh, God.
Resto
No,
Druid.
no, oh God, make
Resto
it stop.
Druid.
Help, I'm on fire, I'm on fire, I'm dying.
Yeah, he'd pee you out.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
He's like doing
The
dubstep
tree
over
is
there.
back.
But
Oh,
since he
we're
always
so
drinks so much, his piss is like freaking vodka, and he just sets you more ablaze.
Oh God.
And then somehow he set himself on fire, and that's how the raid wipes.
Haters.
Yeah, that
All
sounds
of
like,
you
That
haters.
sounds like Ice Crown Citadel.
Hey, okay, I didn't do any healing in ICC.
Liar.
He did
Okay,
like
maybe.
twice.
He's healing. Help us.
I actually did a ton of healing in ICC. I can't lie about that.
Too much. Well, actually, no, you didn't do a ton of
Nah,
healing.
enough
That's the
healing.
problem.
I was decent healing. I was decent. Wasn't great. I was decent.
Decent
Anyway,
amongst
but
me,
yeah.
who doesn't heal.
So I have
Except when
been
you're in your paladin.
doing that.
Okay.
Penth, what have you been playing, man? What's going on in the world of Pentharian?
I'm still playing a lot of WoW, enjoying tanking my monk. It's fun.
Squish.
One thing that I wanted to... I don't remember if we mentioned this last week. Homeworld Remastered came out this week.
I want
No,
it, but
we
it's
don't.
so expensive.
No, yeah, we didn't.
It's not too expensive. It's like
35
$35,
bucks.
which is way... I mean, you get 4 games, basically, right? You get the original Homeworld, Homeworld 2, and then the remastered version of each of them. I mean, I'm probably going to wait a little bit. I'm going to wait for the first Steam sale and see if it goes down to at least like a third off or something.
Oh, sure.
I might buy it before then, because honestly, that was one of my favorite games.
I never got to play it, but I've had friends who used to play it all the time. And I'm like, you really need to get this game, man. You need to get it. You need to play it, and you're going to love it. And I'm like, okay.
See, I did the same thing when Grim Fandango got released, the remaster to that.
Mhm.
I didn't really have the money for it, but I snatched it up because it's a classic. It's a
Yeah.
part of my childhood.
Well, and I want
know.
to support the company.
Yeah.
So I'll probably get it, but we'll see. Anyway,
If you give me Homeworld, I'll love you forever.
so
I'll do
there's,
what I do to Coles to you.
Whoa, no, okay.
Whoa. All right.
I might have to step away if this gets any worse.
Yeah.
one of the later levels in the game, I think it's within the last 3 levels, you have to... I don't remember if you have to kill or capture something, but there's a ship in the middle of this giant sphere of other ships. And the ships on the outside of the sphere are like multi-ion frigates. Like an ion frigate can like shoot this beam of laser thing and toast most ships. So these had like 4 laser beams on each of the ships. And I remember spending like 3 hours or however long the mission limit was. And I got 2 salvage ships and 2 cloaking ships, and I put them in like a diamond formation, and I flew them to each of these ships in the sphere, and I would disable them and then drag them back to my ship and capture them. And so I slowly captured like all 100 ion frigates,
Nice.
so there were no more enemies at the level.
How
And then-
did you even? How long did that take?
Like the whole mission time. If I think there may have been time limit. If not, then I just spent hours doing it. And then when I got to the final level, so like when you go to warp speed out of the end of the level, when you warp out of the level, all of your ships line up to the left side of your mothership. Like it stretched so far that in order to get all those ships to come back into formation after I came into the final level, I'd be attacked by the enemy before my ships could get into formation to protect myself. So I had to
Nice.
make a primary formation and then have the other ones be forming up behind them while the first one went forward into the final level.
Jesus.
That's awesome. That's
That's
amazing.
a lot of ships, if I remember correctly.
That was
You're gonna have to
it was
do
a
it again and record
fun,
it.
It was a fun game.
Yeah. Sounds like it. All right, Veg.
I've been playing an old game as well. Mine is called Ground Control, and I picked that up. I picked it up, I think last week. It was a bundle on GOG.com for $3.78 for Ground Control 1 and its expansion, and then Ground Control 2. I have so far beaten Ground Control 1, and it's a lot of fun. It's an old school RTS from like 97, 98, and it's you ever heard of Warzone 2100?
Yeah. Way back.
It's kind of like that a little bit. It's sci-fi, very basic RTS. It's kind of like Command and Conquer.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. You actually have to plan where your troops are going to be, because they actually thought about terrain, who has an uphill advantage, downhill advantage, and this is back in like 99, 98.
Yeah.
So that was pretty impressive for the time.
So I'm terrible at this game, in other words. Got it?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
They do have a stupid mode, which basically means that you can just point your enemy, or you can point your crew at people and shoot them.
Oh, good. I can do that.
Yeah, exactly. One of the missions I got stuck on was a convoy mission because they decided that instead of having the trucks just line up right away, that one would be all the way, all the way over there, and one would be like there, and that one, they didn't do that on purpose. Apparently the game bugged out like 6 times for me, and I couldn't do anything about it. So I somehow did it. It was hilarious. By the end of it, I only had like my APC left, which is your general, your only person that you can't let die left, and then I have the stupid convoy trucks. But it was, I don't know if it's still on sale. I can actually check for you real quick if it is or not. But like I said, it's worth $3.78.
Ground Control Anthology, is that it?
Yeah.
There you go.
It's a little higher than that.
Yeah, so it's
higher. It's like $5.
Okay, so the sale's ended.
Not a bad price.
No, not at all, it sounds like.
Yeah, when I picked it up, it was on sale. So for both series, I picked it up for $3.78.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And it's still pretty cheap, $5, $6. That's not bad at all.
No, not in the least.
And that's another reason I like GOG. They're very cheap when it comes to those games. Another thing is that they're DRM free, unlike Steam, where you don't have to be logged into a certain program.
Mm-hmm.
Your dog looks severely unamused.
Yeah, he's wondering what I'm doing. Oh, buddy.
So
I question that too.
Yeah. I don't know what I'm doing either.
But if you like RTSs, it's a lot faster paced than, say, Sins of a Solar Empire. It's way faster than that. But it's also not as fast as StarCraft 2. There's no building involved whatsoever. I haven't played the second one yet, so I don't know if they added that feature or not. But basically, they give you a set amount of troops they can do per mission. So you can drop them off at any given point because they're in drop ships. You have to organize your drop ships to, see what troops come out first and whatnot.
Right.
So you get a set amount. If they all die, of course, you lose the mission. If you let the objective fail, you lose the mission. If something stupid happens and your game glitches out, you lose the mission.
Of course.
That was hilarious. I was like an hour and a half into this mission, and all of a sudden it says objective failed, and I didn't see what happened. Apparently, the building that I was supposed to blow up before any of the other objectives, the game didn't register that and said I killed my own men.
Of course.
Good job, Veg.
Yeah. Oh yeah, FYI, there is friendly fire in this game.
Yeah, I'm out. Blow up my own people all day.
So you actually have to organize your people to not shoot each other, because your main tanks will one-shot all your infantrymen.
Of course. Of course. So,
but
right.
It's a lot of fun. I've spent at least 20 hours playing it already.
Yeah, not bad. All right, Ron.
All right, so speaking of games that have friendly fire in it, back in February 28th, 1995, Parallax Software released Descent 1.
Ooh, Descent.
20 years ago today. So they're celebrating their 20th anniversary. You can still pick up Descent on GOG as well.
Crazy.
So I just
Isn't it such a great website?
The sound of those just plain kind of tan guys from the first level, it's just like in my head. Like that scream.
Yep. Also, still been playing Radical. I actually got a game of 190 on one of my Twitch streams.
Ooh.
Yeah, so but I've also gotten 200 since then, so that game's...
Yeah.
I've been relegated to 33rd. I'm not in the top 25 anymore. So sad face. But the other game that I started playing that got released yesterday, as a matter of fact, is a game from Adult Swim Games called Oblitus. Basically,
Adult Swim Games.
Excuse you.
The infinite time suck.
All right. So Oblitus is a 2D platformer, and the guy says he draws a lot of inspiration from Dark Souls. Now, you guys remember Cole's, I think it was like 2 weeks ago, he came on here talking about he played Dark Souls for like 8 minutes, got destroyed by the boss, and similar idea here.
Sounds like my experience.
You get one life. If you die, you have to start over. But it's a lot of fun. It's actually quite easy to pick up. The boss mechanics look hard at first, but once you figure it out, it's pretty easy.
On about your 5th or 7th life.
And I'm going to plug the music here because Josh Welchel is the composer for this. He's a buddy of mine, and he did a fantastic job with this game. So that is
awesome.
Oblatus. You can pick it up on Steam. Really good game. And then, of course, I've been playing League.
Yep.
I played Oriana again last week, and I don't know. I got suckered into playing her repeatedly because I had such a good game with her, and then ever since then, it's just like I can't play her. I can't. I don't have the power in the mid to end game.
I don't know why, but every time that I want to play Katarina, I have to play against an Oriana. That is the perfect counter against a Katarina.
Yeah.
So, Ron, what's the admin term there? Cannot reproduce.
Cannot reproduce. Yes, that's exactly.
You get
I'm lost on Oriana, but I came back with a fantastic Morgana game, and then I schooled this Garen in top lane with Cho'Gath. It was funny.
Nice.
So it went 2-1 last week. We're up to 6-10 on the season. Still bronze 4, but 85 league points. Hopefully we can get into bronze 3 this week. So.
Yeah, there you go.
I think that's all I got.
Well, actually, I forgot one. Just real quick, kind of a teaser for next week. I just picked up a game earlier today that I am really looking forward to getting into. It's Shadowrun Online. They are in their more or less closed beta. If you pre-order the game, they'll let you into the beta. But yeah, I'll let you guys know how that goes. I'm looking forward to it. Shadowrun's a fun game to play. If you ever started out on the old tabletop, then you would definitely know how deep that story goes. So
deep in the feels.
Yeah. But anyway, that's all I got. So yeah, I think that about does it this week. What do you guys say?
That's pretty much for the games.
Yeah.
All
right. So finally, this week we have our 6 gaming roundtable discussion. So this week, the question was brought up: what makes a good game, and is it different from what makes a great game? So let's open up the floor.
So I posted this, and I just want to put out there that I understand that the same kind of game is not going to draw everyone. Like, some people like racing games, some people like a fighting game, some people like RPGs. So in general, and it can also apply to your specific genre that you like. So, there's no right answer here for sure. So I don't want to argue about it, but I think that there's certain elements that may hold true over multiple genres, for example.
All right, well, I mean, I'll start this off. I'll say what makes a really good game, at least for me, is that retainability, if that would be a good word to use. That one thing, replayability. Yes. That one thing that brings you back. That's kept you going for so long. A good example of this would be, World of Warcraft. I've been playing since vanilla. For some reason, I can't stop playing it. It keeps pulling me back. Now, what does that for me are different game mechanics, the different things you can do. Just that broad spectrum. If I don't feel like raiding, maybe I want to go fishing that day, and that's what I'll do. And then
the rest of your raid leading team's going to smack the shit out of you.
Yeah. Well,
right, but there are different things, and that's what kind of draws me back to the game constantly. So for me, that's what makes a really good game.
And talking about World of Warcraft specifically, I mean, the whole story, I mean, the game changes over time.
Right.
It's not the same game it was 10 years ago.
Oh, no.
And
even the
stories where it was just a horde versus the Alliance, and we had to kill some undead, and Khazad's here. We don't know why.
But let's take it beyond that, because we've talked plenty about WoW. Let's go Grand Theft Auto, for example. There is something about that game, I've yet to put my finger on it, that draws me back.
Mass murder and explosions.
Maybe it is. Maybe it's just that gleeful joy of going on a rampage.
God, we have criminals on this podcast.
I don't know, but it really does draw me back. That, for me, is what makes a really great game. Now, you ask...
See, this is why I don't give Veg my address.
Right? You ask, does that make it any different?
Fine, I won't give you free shit either.
I would say, for me, those terms are very much almost subjective. Like a good game and a great game can be one and the same, whereas a good game would be the difference of Final Fantasy VIII versus Final Fantasy VII. You know, one was a good game.
Eight's the great game, and seven's the good game, right?
Quite the opposite. Quite the opposite, actually. For
7
me,
was a great game. 8 was
Yeah.
poo-poo.
I mean, eight was a good game. It was really good. But for me, it was almost too much. I like 7 a bit more. I like the story more. It pulled me in.
No, I think
So-
you hit on something there, because one of the reasons why I didn't, 8 was the first game that I had on a computer, so that's the first one I got to play all the way through, but I hated being Squall. I hated being Squall.
Yeah.
Because he was just a shitty person and a shitty kid.
Well, he
Had
was.
emotions, and
He's the Jar Jar Binks of Final Fantasy.
every
Oh,
decision
God.
that he made was the opposite decision that I would make. Like,
Right.
he danced with Renoa and then, like, was a dick. Like,
Yeah.
it's just so stupid. And I was like yelling at him. I'm like, stop doing that. I'm playing as him. So
Right.
one of the things that makes a game good, I think, and can make a game great, is being able to make decisions for your character, not necessarily as a role-playing game, but having the ability to influence the world the way that you want. That's why I think the Walking Dead game from Telltale is fantastic.
Well,
I was
I'm
going to say Roller Coaster
Yeah.
Tycoon.
Yeah.
That's
I've yet to go all the way through it.
Oh, finish that
See,
game.
For me, it almost sounds like you're describing. It sounds like you're describing more in being engrossed into the story, or into that
yes.
world.
I
should
think
say.
the story's important.
Then there's great games out there that don't have a story.
I agree with that too.
I mean, if you look at a lot of the old school arcade games, like let's go to Pac-Man, that didn't really
Contra.
have much of a story. I mean, that was
Yeah.
just go around and it was a challenge, and that's one of the things that makes a game good for me is a good challenge, not something that's
Yeah.
too hard, not something like that's like completely out there that I can't handle.
Omega Super Tetris. That's in like Japan.
Well, I'll have to look at that, but yeah, I mean, it's just the challenge of
Yeah.
certain games is what is one of the things that I like. There was one game that I played a while ago, and I think I actually made it my game of the week once, called Be Reasonable, Diane, and
Yep,
it was
yep.
done by a independent game designer who took a song from this artist's the band called Speak, and they made a game out of it. And it was a fun game. It was challenging. It was pretty neat. I didn't play it for more than like 2 days.
Yeah.
So as far as whether you would consider that a good game or a great game, I mean that just depends on.
And,
That's
I'd
very
say another
objective.
great game, and what I suggest anyone playing it because it is friendly and is awesome, is the Roller Coaster Tycoon series. The first 2 were created by one man,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you can do whatever you want in them as long as you are successful in that game. You can except for murdering your people, you can still do that. You can still murder people, but
That just loves murdering people. That's what it comes.
no, actually, it actually
Yes,
actually
you do
punishes you.
Yep,
Well,
actually.
I
It
know.
might punish you, but that
pun-
doesn't stop you from loving it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then, Benj,
But
what is it
anyway.
that makes a great game?
A great
And-
game to me is something that gets you hooked. Something that you just want to keep playing it over and over and over again. And yeah, there are some great games that you play through once. You're like, yeah, that's cool. That's a good game. But it's like
Dragon Warrior.
yeah.
Great game, only played through it once.
But Roller Coaster Tycoon, WoW, the StarCraft 2 series. If you're into that StarCraft 2 is a good game. It's not for everybody. A great game for me is something that you could easily get like my little brother into, and he'll love it, and then he'll dig deeper into another game that are good games. Good games are more specifically for that specific genre and what you like. A great game is what you can get everybody's talents into and everyone to enjoy.
Yeah.
Like
See,
Portal 2, Portal, those are great games.
See, and that's what I love is we all have our own opinion about what makes a good game, a great game, and yeah, for me it's very much story. Like if you give me a really good story, that's what hooks me. It'll keep me coming back. We've all got our elements, and that's I think awesome. Absolutely awesome.
For me, another great game would be Dragon Age Origins because of its story.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's got a good story, but I couldn't get into the gameplay. Like, the gameplay killed me.
Yeah,
Like-
I'm not gonna lie, that was a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
But they made it up with Dragon Age 2 with gameplay but not story. They kind of went the opposite direction, and then Inquisition, bam, they hit it.
Yeah, I hadn't really gone through that one yet.
Sometimes
Do
it
it.
takes people a few tries before they come up with something good.
And that's true. That's true. Very
Or
true.
great in this case.
Yep.
Good
But-
question.
Okay. I definitely think we hit it, though. You know, it's definitely something for everyone. Everyone's got their own opinions.
Yeah.
So, far be it from my opinion being right. Far be it
Yay
from
for
Penn's
people being
opinion
individuals.
right. Yeah, exactly. We've all got our own thing. And that's awesome. That's absolutely awesome. But, yeah. So, I think that about does it this week, you guys. What do you say?
I say, what do you think about Margaret Robbie?
Oh. Ooh. Ooh. Come on.
Come back to reality.
Okay, sorry, I'm back. All right. Yeah, so if you guys haven't heard, Margot Robbie has been confirmed to be playing my favorite, Harley Quinn, in the new Suicide Squad movie that's coming out. Thank you, Warner Brothers. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm a little bit hesitant to see what they're going to be doing with Jared Leto, who's been rumored to be the Joker now. I think he's a good actor. Maybe not the Joker. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, to be fair, everyone said that about Heath Ledger.
Yeah.
Well, that's true. And Heath Ledger blew it out. So, yeah, hey, you never know. Like I said, he is a really good actor. He really is. But, see, my thing is, for some reason, I always retain the cartoon version of Batman's Harley Quinn in my head. That, like, terrible New York
Hi,
accent.
Mr. J.
And, yeah, that to me was, like, the brilliant Harley Quinn. And so when I always think about Harley Quinn and the Joker, like that relationship, that was, for me, what makes or breaks a good story between those two. Is Joker has her around but doesn't care about her. You know, to him, she's just another minion. She's disposable at best. But to her, like, the Joker is her world. You know what I mean? That is the end-all, be-all. She'll do anything. And I want to see that relationship in this new movie. And I don't know. Like, I'm really hoping that that's what they'll do. But
I think they should just get
We'll
Mark
see.
Hamill to play the Joker. That's it.
I absolutely agree. Of all
Just
the
like
Joker voices
old
that have
Joker.
been out there, yeah, of all the Joker voices, Mark Hamill nails it for me every time.
You killed Captain Clown?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
I don't think anybody can do it quite as well.
No.
but it's that laugh that he has too. Oh, it's
Oh,
amazing.
yeah, he nails that laugh every time. It gives me like goosebumps.
Oh yeah, he's good. Even what was it? The Death of the Batman. He had like a 5-minute monologue that they did in the cartoon. That
Yeah.
Mark Hamill got to do for the Joker. It was brilliant. If you guys haven't seen it, go YouTube that one. It was.
What's it called? Just
great.
what is it called? The Joker monologue?
Something like that. Yeah, you can find it just about anywhere. But
Yep.
yeah, so Margot Robbie, you guys, she's gonna be an
Yeah.
awesome Harley Quinn. Awesome.
Show
So
us already
sexy.
daydreaming.
Oh,
Come back. Come back.
Sorry. All right, I'm back.
We have
All right.
depressing things to mention.
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
All right, so that I think we'll do it this week. Finally.
No.
What? What else am I missing? You
Our
keep
closing
pulling it back.
statements.
That pretty much was closing statements.
No,
I think this is.
jacket.
I think this is our
Our
closing
closing
statements.
Statement. Right there. Let me
Right
highlight that. Look at that. Yeah, I didn't want to go there because it's really depressing, you guys. But
Gotta mention it.
Yeah.
Leonard Nimoy has passed away at 83. That's. As soon as I heard about it, I mean, it was just mind blown. I
It's
couldn't
kind of like
believe it.
it's kind of like when Wayne Stack died for me a little bit, even more so because
Yeah. A legend
because,
dies.
you know, yeah. But not only that, I say don't look up, don't let actors and famous people be role models. to you. Like, don't let them. But for him, yes, because he inspired to be the best that he could be in an individual. He was the nicest person you could meet, and he did everything in his power to help anybody he could.
Yeah.
You know, that's someone you want to aspire to be.
Well, it's really it's two people. For me, it was him, and then of course Mr. Sulu, as most people tend to know him. But those are brilliant people, absolutely brilliant.
Well, George isn't dead.
No, George Takei is still alive, and he's a brilliant fighter for equal rights and everything else. And that's I
It's
think
okay
is
to be Takei.
great. Yeah, it is. And if you guys don't
my.
follow his stuff, check him out on Facebook, on Twitter, on YouTube. Like, his stuff is hilarious. That man's brilliant. But here's my question that I had to bring up to you guys, okay? So how is it that freaking Spock dies before Captain Kirk? Of all people.
Yeah, I know.
Because
smoking,
let's face it,
Well, he had
anybody who's
obstructive.
led a rougher life, it would be him.
Nimoy had obstructive pulmonary stuff from smoking for 30
Oh.
years.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Technical terms, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I
Right,
don't.
very technical. Medical
Pulmonary
terms.
disease.
Wait,
But
aren't you
anyway,
supposed to be a bioengineer?
Yeah, but not from the
Not a
vascular
doctor.
stuff.
Right?
Not a doctor, Jim.
When.
I think we're done here.
Damn it, Jim! I'm a
Yeah.
doctor, not a. Ah, shit.
Right? All right, but yeah, rest in peace, Leonard Nimoy. We will miss you, definitely.
Go boldly.
So, very much. All right, you guys, that will do it this week. We will look forward to seeing you next week on the Six Gaming Podcast. As always, Ron, take it away.
Live long and prosper. See you, bye.